What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Awareness Monday. What's up, Clockwork? What's up, Heather? Thank you for dropping the $2 super sticker or goal. I appreciate it. I really do. What's up, Midnight? Yeah, me too. It's crazy.
I'm not even kidding. That is crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do this. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Awareness Monday. This isn't entertainment. This isn't drama. This isn't just another live stream. This is about truth. This is about protection. This is about talking about the things most people are too uncomfortable to face. What's up, Rex?
Hey, I finally made it home. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, we had a cow breakout. Somebody hit the poles and knocked the fence down, and the cows were like, "Hey, I'm out of here." So
Nice.
yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day.
Nice. So every Monday, for the most part, we come here for one reason: to shine light on the things that hide in silence. Because when we stay silent, people get hurt. When we stay silent, systems fail. When we stay silent, predators feel safe. And today, we're not being silent.
Nope.
We're going to talk about things people avoid, things people deny, things people don't want to believe happened. But they do. So if you're here, you're part of the solution. If you're uncomfortable, good. That means you're waking up. This is Awareness Monday, and let's get into it. What's up, Temper? I'm trying to find my spot here, guys. Hang on. Almost there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to do this with my sunglasses off, with the light on. We'll see how long it lasts. There are realities in this world that don't show up in the news or on the news. Not because they aren't happening, but because they're too uncomfortable to sit with. We live in a world that loves comfort, loves distractions, and loves denial. People don't like asking, what if this is happening closer than I think? Or what if this is happening in homes that look normal? Or what if this is happening in families that look perfect? Because those questions are terrifying. So they don't ask them. But predators don't live in shadows. They live behind normality. They live behind smiles. They live behind reputations. They live behind the safety people pretend exists. And they survive because silence is easier than truth. This isn't a performance. This isn't content. This is reality, ladies and gentlemen. This is Awareness Monday, and today we're not whispering truth. We're dragging it in. We're dragging it into the light. Period. What's up, ATS?
Oh.
Silence is nothing. Silence is something. Silence isn't nothing. Silence is something very specific. It's a decision. It's the moment when someone feels something is wrong and chooses not to act. That moment matters because predators don't need violence every day. They just need hesitation. They need the moment where someone says, "I don't want to think about that," or I don't want to accuse someone," or "I don't want to ruin reputations." What does Get to Know say? Who gives a shit? And that hesitation becomes protection, just not for the victim. Silence teaches children your fear doesn't matter. Your discomfort isn't important. Your silence is safer than truth. And predators build entire worlds on that simple fact. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with that either. ATS. I don't agree with that statement. Silence is now golden, for sure. Excuse me.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Most predators hide in plain sight and depend on you turning a blind eye and a deaf ear and just, you know,
That's the only way they continue to exist and get away with what they do is
Yep.
by not creating awareness, not by keeping their mouth shut. You know what I mean?
Yep.
By people keeping their mouth shut. Now that we've talked about silence, we have to talk about the thing that grows inside silence. Do you know what that is, Rex?
I'm still seeing cows, man. Hang on. Silence is like fuck, I can't think of the word now. Sorry.
Gotta watch that F word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I know what you're saying. Silence breeds it's not contempt. Apathy. Silence breeds apathy. There you go.
Okay.
That's what I thought anyway.
Now that we've talked about silence, we have to talk about the thing that grows inside silence. Because predators don't start with force, they start with architecture. And that architecture has a name. It's called grooming.
Okay.
Grooming, ladies and gentlemen. What grooming really is? Grooming is not random, it's planned.
Exactly.
It's slow, it's intentional. And the scariest part, most of it looks harmless from the outside. A predator does not show up as scary. They do not show up as dangerous. They show up as friendly, helpful, understanding, and even safe. They become the person a child feels seen by. Because predators don't hunt strong children. They hunt emotional gaps. What's up, Daniel Barry? They look for the lonely ones, the ignored ones, the kids who feel invisible, the kids who don't feel understood. And they fill that void. That's not kindness, that's strategy. That's hunting. The emotional funnel. There is a pattern they follow. Always. Number one. All right. What's up, Midnight?
Hello.
How are
Hello.
you, sweetheart? You know, my
Yeah.
wife and I were both thinking about you earlier today.
Oh, really?
Yep, we sure were.
All good, I hope.
Oh, of course. How could it not be?
No, you hit a nerve a little bit when you were talking about like what's like silence and like yeah. So I thought I'd come
Yeah.
on, talk to you for a little bit.
Heck yeah. Well, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Welcome in.
In case you didn't know, I've actually split my channel up. I
Have
separated
you?
I've separated my series channel, this one here, and I
Mm.
started a new one for all the bullshit and shenanigans and all that stuff that's not serious. Because
Yeah, all the butchering of karaoke and yeah. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
um,
on the real GTK. The way that I'll find it and put the link in the chat. This is for the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
um, yes, indeed, I can do that. It is duh. Um, it is. I'm all trying to move my sunglasses, wondering why the hell my mouse isn't working. We're trying to use my sunglasses as my mouse. And it's under the name Billy Bongs. It's Billy Bongs. So don't think you're sending it to the wrong person. But what was he talking about before that? Oh, so since I actually decided I'm going to run for city council in 2 years from now.
Nice.
Yes. And I want people to start taking this more serious and I just had to I had to for all the right reasons why I started doing this in the first place. So
Yeah, if they ever
Yeah.
find your other channel, man.
oh, it's okay. Because see, here's the thing. I can be professional and real on this channel, just like I can
Mhm.
just. And if you want to judge me for having fun and cutting loose like a normal human
Yeah.
being does, nobody.
I mean-
We're just saying, man.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mhm.
my wife's like, "Who's saying anything?" He's getting ready to kick some ass. He's getting ready to kick some ass.
Well, everyone has a personal life.
What's that?
I said everyone has a personal life as long as you're not hurting anyone.
Right? Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's
You know,
what it's-
we overall I just posted it in the chat. That's the where we do the karaoke and talk shit and do all the other stuff. This is for like this. Yeah. This is for this.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to watch all the swearing on this channel.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
I'll curb my enthusiasm. Sorry.
Well, I know. It's definitely a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife just said I'm getting better. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go. That's always a plus.
Right? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there is a pattern they follow always. Number one, attention. You're special. You're different. You're mature for your age. If you've been a victim of this stuff, we've all heard it. I guarantee that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Step two, bonding. Bonding. They build trust slowly, not fast, not obvious. It's almost so slow you can't even recognize it. It's how they pray. It's called praying on your catch, I guess you could say. Isolation. This one's a major one. They create distance between the child and safe adults, not by force, but by influence.
Yep.
Secrets. You all know how I feel about secrets. There's no such thing as a good one.
Nope.
This is just between us, right? No one would understand, or don't tell, they'd get mad. Woo-hoo. We've heard that one a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Control. The relationship becomes power. The illusion becomes the trap.
Yep.
Okay? That funnel is not visible from outside. It happens in whispers, in one-on-one moments, in private conversations. And kids don't see a predator. They see connection, a friend, someone to talk to. And that's why it works.
Yep.
And they pick out the vulnerable ones, you know, most vulnerable.
Yep. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, ATS. I really do appreciate the catch up. Thank you very much. I really do.
Okay. But yeah, a lot of the predators will take on a role as a mentor. Well, let me teach you how to do this or teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
And they'll teach you something that is actually going to work in your life somehow. But then they're just like you said, it's an architecture. They're building the architecture of
Yeah.
transparent trust. Yeah.
Yes. My abuser, he always used the, you want to go to the store? Want to go to the store? We'll get a treat or get some candy. That's how it started with. That's how it built from there.
Yep, yep.
Or
Yeah, mine
the
mine
first,
was always, let me help you.
no, yeah. What got me the first time was I'm almost 5 years old, you know what I mean? And he says, "You want to drive?" Well, a 5-year-old kid don't want to drive a car. Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, horrible.
Online grooming is horrendous. Online grooming is faster and it's more dangerous in some ways because predators can pretend to be anything, anyone. They can be other kids, teens, mentors, coaches, friends, even famous people, ladies and gentlemen. They start with, "Hey," or "You seem cool. You're not like the other kids." Then it becomes, "Let's talk privately. Don't show anyone this chat." They wouldn't get it. And slowly, games become conversations. Conversations become secrets. Secrets become control. That isn't friendship. That's psychological warfare against the most vulnerable in our societies, ladies and gentlemen. Why do adults miss it? This is important, ladies and gentlemen. Most adults imagine danger is loud, kidnapping, strangers, violence. But grooming is quiet, and quiet danger is harder to accept. Adults don't want to believe someone I know could do this. Someone I trust couldn't be dangerous. Come on now. So they don't look, they don't ask, and the silence grows, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, some of the most dangerous people are those closest to you, as I found out.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we understand grooming, we have to talk about what it does inside a survivor. Because silence isn't just fear, it's survival. And trauma is not imaginary. It's physical, not it's physical. It's neurological. It's real. And it sucks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it does.
People don't
Well, I
understand.
mean-
If you haven't gone through it, people don't understand. They can't grasp the concept of how damaging it really is. They can say they do, but they don't. If you haven't dealt with it, you can't. You can't. Am I wrong?
No.
Midnight?
No, you're not. I'm actually wondering how deep you're going here because I might have to bow out.
Well, we'll take this. You know your limits, sweetheart.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for showing up in the first place. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't show up, won't talk about it.
Oh,
Sweep it
no.
under the rug,
GTK
silence,
knows
like
that
you're talking about.
it took a while. I think it took like almost 20 years for me to actually talk about what happened.
Yeah.
That's
But-
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I don't shut up about it. Which is the way it should be.
You know, but once you decided, once you decided to take that step, you
Yeah.
didn't just take that. You kicked the door off that son of a gun. You know what I mean? Like you went all in, and that amongst many other reasons, I will always have mad love and respect for you for that. Midnight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You came in guns ablazing. You know, you weren't gonna
Oh, she did.
poo-poo it. Yeah, you weren't gonna poo-poo what happened. Yeah.
Like
Yep.
even a few, I think it was like a few months ago, I got a message from a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, someone's left a really, really nasty comment under the video, your story," and straight away I was like, "Should I react?" No, I sent it to G2K. He can deal
Said
with
it's
it.
me, and I handled my biz. I handled the business because that kind of garbage isn't allowed around here. We don't support that kind of trash,
No.
Nope.
and that's what big brothers do. That's
Yeah.
what big brothers do.
Oh,
Why
I
you
was
think
all
I
for
got
I was
that?
all for finding the person and taking her door off her house, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I
Yeah.
if I lived closer, I probably would have. I'm not even lying.
yeah, that was horrible. Like reading it because I thought, well, I didn't do it this year because like I wasn't in the right space mentally. Things happened
Yeah.
this year that I'm not
And
proud of, but
I didn't want to push it either. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, things happened the day before.
Well,
Things happened that I'm not proud of. Probably things I shouldn't have done. However,
well,
I now have a very attractive scar. Um,
yeah.
it adds to the badass look. It's cool.
oh yeah,
I know, right? Look at that one. Look at that one.
Oh no,
I still say
mine's on my throat.
Well,
Sorry.
Mine's on my
Hey,
neck.
look,
I
there's a
was able to
reason.
use it for Halloween. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's all
there's
good.
a reason you made this ninja avatar with a great big hammer. Yeah, because
yeah.
sometimes I had to swing that great big hammer at people. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep moving because this is kind of a long one. This is kind of a long
Alright.
stream.
All right, I'll show
So
you.
you're good, Rex. You're good, Rex. Survivor silence and trauma psychology. Now that you understand how grooming works, we have to talk about what it does to the mind. Because trauma doesn't just hurt the heart, it rewires the brain. And silence doesn't come from weakness, it comes from survival. It's how we learn to survive. You do pretty much anything when the person abusing you has got a gun to your head. Whatever you say, especially when you're 5, 6, 7 years old. So you're damn right I kept it silent. What trauma really does to the brain? Trauma is not just a bad memory, it is a chemical event. When a child feels unsafe, their body releases cortisol, adrenaline, fight or flight chemicals. This isn't emotional, it's physical. The brain changes how it works. It shifts into survival mode. That means logic gets pushed aside, fear becomes louder, memory becomes fragmented, the body learns to freeze instead of flight or fight. This is not imagination. This is neurology. This is documented work. This is documented. This is what happens. That's why survivors don't react how movies show. They don't scream, they don't fight, they don't always run because their brain is trying to keep them alive. And sometimes silence feels like the safest option. How many times did silence feel like the most safest option for you, Midnight?
What? Sorry.
How much did silence play a part in, you play a part in as the safest option?
Yeah, pretty much every day of my life. Being
Yeah.
silent was the best option.
What about you, Rex?
Hey, I still haven't talked about it with people in my family because they would not believe me. They would say, "Oh, you're just full of crap." He didn't really do that. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. They wouldn't believe it because he's very charismatic, and he
Oh
puts
yeah.
on like, yeah, puts on
Oh
like
yeah.
this air of I'm the shit or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
So the freeze
I still
response.
have people that don't believe me, to be honest.
A lot of people don't believe me either, and it doesn't even
Yeah.
matter. Like we know what happened. We know what
you were
happened,
there.
and if you
Yeah.
don't believe me, that's on you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it is what
exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
So
It's just I'm just glad that I had adults in my life when obviously things took place and I did
yeah.
eventually tell someone what was going on. I'm just glad I
Yeah.
had adults in my life that did believe me.
Yeah, no kidding. I wish I would have had. I wish I would have had what it took to speak about it when it first started happening. But
Yeah.
what do you don't know that kind of stuff at
You were a
5 years old.
kid,
You don't
yeah.
know what you don't know what the hell. You know what I mean? So it is what it
Yeah.
is. You know.
But that's why from that day, like from the day that obviously the worst day, I vowed to basically grow up to be the adult that the little girl me needed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
You're a child that's forced into a world of adulthood that you don't want to be a part in.
You're not even
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know what child you don't even know what being a child is like, and you're already thrown into adult situations, and
Yeah.
it totally rewires the chemical structure of your brain. It totally does so much damage.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
The freeze response.
Well,
freeze
the freeze response. Fear becomes a constant in your life when that happens. It's like you're afraid. I still look at people suspiciously today. Some deserve it, some don't. You know,
Every
I'm just
time
like,
everybody, like, I don't care what people can say, whatever I want. I look at people. I look at people all kinds of all the time like that.
being aware of your surroundings.
It's being aware, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. They'll never know that I'm thinking that. You know what I mean? And that's on me. Whatever, and I'm okay with that because it's kept me safe this long. So the freeze response. People talk about fight and flight. They forget freeze. There's actually 3 of them there, ladies and gentlemen. Freeze looks like not moving, not speaking, not reacting, going emotionally numb, and shutting down. That's not weakness. That's instinct. That's the
Yep.
brain saying, don't move, don't draw attention, survive. When people say why didn't they just say no? They don't understand trauma,
Why can't you just get over it?
right? They don't understand trauma. They don't. Silence becomes safety,
Why can't
ladies
you
and
just let
gentlemen.
it go?
Why can't you just let it go? Why can't you just move on? Stillness becomes protection. If I just stand in the way back where I think nobody can see me and I just keep quiet, nothing will happen. I'll be okay. Survivor mode. Yes, Miss Gothy. Yes, Miss
yeah,
Gothy.
there you go.
What survivors think internally. Inside the survivor's mind, thoughts don't come in clean sentences. They come in pressure. They sound like it's my fault. I should have stopped it. I caused this. I'll break everything if I talk. No one will believe me. They'll blame me. I'll be the one in trouble.
I'll get taken away.
Yes. These thoughts don't come from logic, they come from fear. And fear is powerful. Shame is a prison. Predators use shame. They plan it early. They make the child feel dirty, wrong, complacent, guilty, responsible even. Well, if you wouldn't have crawled on my lap, if you wouldn't have wore that dress.
Wore that dress.
Yeah. That shame sits heavy. It doesn't leave quickly. It doesn't leave easily. In fact, it rarely ever leaves.
At all. You're exactly
Yeah, and people expect survivors to just talk about it, right? That's like asking someone to walk out of a burning building with bare feet on broken glass. I mean,
And not feel any pain.
exactly. And
Yep.
and not to show that it hurts. Come on now.
Oh no, my thing was I used to try and think, well, obviously it wasn't just me that it happened to. Um I used to think that if I stayed quiet and it was okay, like he done it to me, he would leave her alone.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot too. Well, yeah,
Because I've got to be honest, I was the lucky one, if you know what I mean. Neither of us were lucky as such,
Yeah.
but I was luckier. She had objects used. I didn't.
Yeah. It's
So yeah,
people
I got
don't.
lucky.
Yeah. And how to put it like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, how is that? No, but that's lucky. Like, I hear some other, I hear so many stories, and I'm just like,
You know, I mean, I didn't mean lucky. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
don't know how to word it.
No. You worded it
Oh,
just fine. You worded it just fine.
yeah.
You worded it just fine.
I am slowly breaking though.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good, sweetheart.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're good, sweetheart.
But yeah, if I let them do it to me, I'm protecting somebody else. No, they're doing it to somebody else too.
Yeah,
But
we
we
don't
were
understand.
kids.
We don't
Yeah.
understand that as children.
Yeah. We were kids. We didn't really understand that. That's not how it
Yeah,
worked.
I had no clue. I had no clue. You know what I mean? And that's why these predators work like they do and they function like they do, is because that's what works. Like, we watched this show on Steve Wilkos the other day, where this guy was in a sexual relationship with his biological daughter, and it was all because he groomed her from a young age and convinced her that it's all right, no big deal. You know, and that's why they work. That's why they do. That's why it works for them. That's why there's so many of them out there, because they don't. Oh,
I know you wanna cuss as bad as I do right now, but but okay. Yeah.
Okay. Why disclosure takes years or decades or sometimes never at all? Many survivors don't speak for years, decades, and sometimes their whole life. Not because they forget, not because it didn't matter, but because the body remembers danger longer than the brain processes it. The nervous system holds the story. Sometimes survivors don't even realize what happened was abuse until adulthood, because the brain locked it away to survive. And that is not failure, that is resilience. Our brains will automatically kick us into survivor mode.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
Well,
So now that we
go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. Well, I was going to say, if they've abused the child since they were what, 5, 6, 7, it becomes normalized in their mind, in the child's mind.
Yes.
Like this. Oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But the child don't know any different. So
exactly.
All right.
Now that you understand trauma, we have to talk about what happens when survivors finally speak, because the system isn't built for trauma speed, and that matters. That's where things start breaking. When the system isn't built for trauma. Now that we've talked about trauma, we have to talk about what happens when someone finally speaks, because speaking up is brave. But bravery doesn't automatically mean the system is ready. And that's where things get painful. The system was built for paper, not pain. Core systems are designed for procedure, not trauma, not fear, not shattered voices. They are built around timelines, evidence, protocol, rules, regulations, jurisdictions. And that makes sense. But trauma doesn't follow timelines. Trauma doesn't follow protocol. Trauma doesn't follow rules, ladies and gentlemen. Kids don't store memories like adults. They don't explain pain in courtroom language. They don't speak in neat bullet points. They speak in tears, in confusion, in broken sentences, in fear, ladies and gentlemen. And the system often can't hear that language. Here's why cases get lost, delayed, or even downgraded or dismissed, ladies and gentlemen. This part is important and sensitive. Trigger warning, ladies and gentlemen. Not everyone in the system is bad. Most people in it care. But they are buried in caseloads they can't manage, paperwork they can't escape, deadlines that don't move, limited funding, burnout. This creates something dangerous. Delay. Delay is probably the most dangerous thing when it comes to this topic. You delay any of it, it's just not good. It's not good. And delay is dangerous for victims because delay tells survivors you don't matter enough to be urgent. Even when people care, systems still break people. Yes. When a survivor finds courage to speak and then experiences being questioned harshly, being doubted, being cross-examined, being told there's not enough evidence, being told we can't proceed, being told you didn't keep a journal, you didn't keep any physical evidence. My wife's heard those ones. It doesn't feel neutral. It doesn't feel betrayal. And it doesn't feel neutral. It feels like betrayal. And that betrayal is trauma by itself. Not because the system is evil, but because the survivor needed safety and found bureaucracy instead. How the system can create reluctance to speak. This is important. This is important awareness. When one survivor sees another survivor not believed, they don't feel encouraged. They feel warned. Silence spreads, not because people want to stay quiet, but because they're afraid to be hurt twice or 3 times. Once by the abuser, once by the system. It's horrible. This part is critical and balanced, okay? This is not about burn it down, hate the system, everyone inside is bad. That's not real. It's about this truth. A system designed for adults often fails children. A system designed for procedure often fails trauma. A system designed for paperwork often fails pain. And awareness can help bridge the gap. 100%, okay? Where this leads next. Now that we've talked about trauma, silence, and system failure, we have to talk about power. Not violent power, not destructive power, protective power, community power, knowledge power. Okay? This is important. I'm actually going to go get a smoke. I got to have a cigarette. Sorry, guys.
Oh, hey, I get it. Had to go get a beer.
Yeah,
This is
I get
heavy
it too.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is heavy stuff. But yeah, let's see if we can keep this going. Yeah, my silence about who abused me when I was young,
Mm.
like I said, if I'd have told anybody in the family that this was happening, they would have been like, "You're lying.
Yeah.
There ain't no way." Yeah. Yes way. Yes, there was. I was there.
And see, and for me, if I would have told my parents, I know for a fact they would have believed me, but I was too afraid to say anything because of the threats and the force being silent.
See, My fear was that obviously being so little, my fear was that I wouldn't be allowed to hang out with her anymore. Like go over to our house or have her over to my house. That was my biggest fear.
And see, and these parasites, they thrive on that. They thrive on knowing that you can't do nothing, or you just
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
horrible.
that was the one thing that was used against me was, well, if you tell anyone, then you won't get to come over here, you won't get to hang out and everything else.
Wow. But yeah, fear.
Don't
Uh,
know if
they use fear to manipulate you.
mm,
So, all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, it's fine. My brain went numb. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know if Rex knows like obviously the full extent of it, but
Yeah,
back
I don't think
then,
he does either.
if I had told someone, yeah, I would have had to have lived with not being able to hang out with her. But she might also still be here.
Yeah.
Kind of double-edged sword, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. If you
That-
haven't heard Midnight Valkyrie's story, please go back
It's on
on
there
this
twice.
channel. It's on there twice. It's on there twice.
Once where I was completely crapping my pants, and the second time when I was just an emotional mess.
Yes. Yes. I think we
I
were both.
rewatched my first one, and you can hear me shaking.
Yeah, you literally can. Like you literally can. Like I think both of us were crapping our pants at the time.
Yeah.
So
The second
plus
time it was easier in a way, but it was more difficult because I didn't have Dragon. Dragon was at work.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I would encourage anybody to go and listen to her story. It makes a lot more sense if you just know.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
worth a watch. Yeah.
The long
worth
and
It-
short
it-
of it, both me and my friends were SA'd when we were young, and just before we turned 16, she took her own life
because of the abuse.
because of the
Yeah.
abuse. But that was when I found my voice.
Yes.
So she did me a favour in a way, but she also didn't do me a favour in a way.
Yes.
Because now she gets to be wherever she is with fluffy clouds and unicorns, and I'm stuck here.
Well, if you were
She's
up,
probably not got fluffy clouds and unicorns. She's probably got 24-hour central heat and a nice fire around about her. But that's beside the point.
well, if you would be up there, if you was up there with the fluffy clouds and unicorns, then you wouldn't have got to meet me, and that's like, you can't bargain with that. You can't trade that. Like that's priceless.
Yeah, but where I am right now is -4. It's cold. I want fluffy clouds and unicorns, damn it. But no,
Oh,
that's
I
where
wanna-
like I make my mind go to that place and like imagine her that she's like really happy and she's like warm all the time and she's just like free
Safe.
more or less.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about silence. Let me turn my camera on. We've talked about silence. We've talked about grooming. We've talked about trauma, and we've talked about broken systems. Now we talk about something stronger than all of it. Not anger, not revenge, not violence, but protection, awareness, power that doesn't destroy, power that prevents. What real protection actually is? Real protection is not panic. It's preparation. It's not paranoia. It's pattern recognition. Protection looks like asking questions when something feels off, listening fully when a child speaks, watching behavior without dismissal, trusting instincts even when it's uncomfortable, breaking politeness when safety is at risk. Protection is not loud, it's consistent. And consistency saves lives, ladies and gentlemen. Awareness as the weapon. Awareness is the most powerful weapon in this battle, because we are in a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Because predators don't fear strength, they fear exposure. They fear educated parents. They fear informed teachers. They fear communities that talk. They fear environments where silence no longer exists. They fear a place where secrets are not allowed. You don't need fists. You don't need force. Although sometimes we want to. You need eyes. You need ears. Most importantly, you need courage. It takes a certain kind of person to stand up for something, even when they know they could be wrong, but it feels like they're not. Okay? Embarrassment, being criticized, make assumptions being made. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Community is the biggest shield we've got, ladies and gentlemen. No child is protected alone in a community. Not by systems, not by courts, not by paperwork, but by us, people in the community. One adult who believes a child can change a life. One teacher who notices patterns can stop a disaster. One coach who asks the hard questions can save years of pain. Communities don't change by policy. They change by awareness. What you right now can do. This is where the audience needs to feels empowered. Okay? This is where you guys need to feel empowered right here, okay? You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be trained. You just have to be aware. This is how you start. Believe children when they talk. Don't dismiss behavior changes. Learn the signs, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about uncomfortable topics. They have to be talked about. Be brave enough to ask questions. Protection is not heroic. It's human. This is not about fear. It's about light, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't about making people scared. This is about helping people see. Fear freezes people. Awareness mobilizes them. We don't live in fear. We live in readiness. We don't live in paranoia. We live in preparation. And that's strength, ladies and gentlemen. Let the silence live between the lines. If you made it this far, you're part of the solution, and I thank you. You're not just a viewer. You're not just a listener. You're a protector now. Not with fists, not with rage, but with knowledge. Because predators don't survive in light. They survive in silence. So don't be silent. Talk about this. Share this stream. Learn the signs. Teach your children. Trust your instincts. Speak when it feels hard. If you're a survivor, you are not broken. If you're a parent, you are not powerless. If you're watching, you are not helpless. Awareness isn't loud, it's strong. And strong people change outcomes. This is Awareness Monday, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all you guys being here. I really do. Share this stream. Watch it again. by all means, share it out to your communities. By all means, you have full permission to, as long as you use it in the right way. Midnight, Clockwork, would you like to say anything before we get out of here for the night?
No. The only thing I want to say is I dropped a link to my story in the comments, but I don't know if people will be able to see it. So yeah,
Yeah, I saw it.
We got
I
you.
saw it.
it's there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, and I would like to say that courage is not the absence of fear.
No.
Courage is taking action when you are afraid. That's courage.
Yes.
Yep.
The most
Okay.
important thing is you have to speak. If you care about your kids and you want to help keep them safe, you have to speak to your kids and tell them that this stuff is not okay, and to not be afraid if somebody does this or tries to, because speaking up is what matters. That's what makes the difference between a victim and not a victim.
Somebody make you feel comfortable.
Eh,
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely, babe. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, especially as a child, you have to teach your children uncomfortable things. So they're
Tell them that things
Wi-
like that happen out there. And they
yes.
know what
Let them know. Let them know that things happen. I let my kids, my wife and I let our kids know from a very young age the things that happened to us. We didn't go into graphic detail because you don't have to. Kids are
Yeah.
sponges. But I guarantee you, if something would have happened to one of them, they would have instantly came and told their mom and dad.
to know what to do.
Yeah.
If you don't give your children the tools they need, if something happens, they won't know what to do.
Yeah. Exactly. My kids have been brought up from a similar, very young age, knowing exactly, like obviously, like being taken to see her and well, where she was and stuff like that. And like they know her story, they know what happened to her. They're obviously older now, so they know like in a bit more detail what actually happened.
Yes.
And they basically being typical teenage boys at the minute, they are of the thing of, well, if anyone tries that with me, I'll just punch them. Which I'm okay with, to be fair. If they have to choose
Yeah.
violence to get themselves out of a situation that doesn't leave them in the state I'm in, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Punch you
I'd
right in the
rather
damn
they didn't turn to violence. However, if that's the only option they have at the time,
face. Yes.
like there was a girl near here a few weeks ago. She was grabbed from behind, and her instincts told her basically that the guy grabbed her, put his hand over her mouth, and said he had a knife. And her first instinct was to bite him, so she bit his hand, and he let her go, and she was able to get away. So if my
Yeah.
kids have to do something like that to get themselves out of a situation, so be it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know
Like,
what I mean? Like,
do whatever it takes to get out of the situation. I don't care what you got to do. If you got to grab a knife, a rock, a stick, whatever the hell, just
mhm,
get out of the situation.
yeah. Also, like a pretty good thing that my eldest was actually taught in self-defense like classes was most kids these days have a mobile phone or cell phone, whatever you call it over there. Um, take that out your pocket, smack someone on the side of the head with it. They're gonna let you go. They're gonna recoil pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even
Yep.
have to be like looking about the floor for stuff.
Yeah, for
9
sure.
times out of 10, you have stuff on your person that can cause enough damage for you to escape. I'm not talking
Fingers
about
in the
damaging people.
eyeballs. I don't care how big or little the fingers are. Fingers in the eyeballs,
Yeah,
And they're
and their the private parts. It works. It works. It
yeah.
works.
I mean, I've had it before, like with customers in the pub being like rowdy and stuff like that, and be like, "Oh, you're my best friend," and like they'll come up behind you and they'll try and hug you and stuff like that. The amount of shins that I've potentially broken
Oh yeah, shins are gruesome. Shins are gruesome. For
because
real. For real.
I don't think twice. I just
Miss Coffee says bite. Absolutely. I can't,
my natural instinct is just to
but
horse kick
I
if
can't
someone
bite.
comes behind me.
Well, I mean, a set of
Yeah. Horse
keys.
kick, mule kick, yeah.
You can turn the keys in your pocket into a weapon.
Yeah, I walk home because we've got a lot of it just now where there's like men of all ages, races, colours, whatever, basically attacking females who are walking alone. Obviously, I'm not the tallest. I'm surprised G2K's got through a whole life without mentioning my height.
I was
Um,
gonna mention it. I was gonna mention it here before he signed all the way off. You short shit, okay?
Shut up.
He's only 4'5", okay?
4'5" and a bouncer that would still kick your ass. Anyway,
Hey, we're not discussing that. That's not even on topic.
Uh,
but no, I've actually started walking with my keys.
I already know how it would end. Okay, I know. I'm fully aware of how it would work. Okay, I get it.
I just get the feeling that when you bring up my height, it's because you enjoy the taste of cement or concrete. It's fine. I get it. Some people
Well,
have
no,
weird
I just
issues.
like to say that I'm taller than you because I'm not very tall.
At least you're taller than someone.
I'm not really taller than anybody else.
That's what I said. At least you're taller than someone.
So
But
I'm
you are
taller
gonna
than
take.
two
You are
people.
gonna start tasting concrete if you keep mentioning it. Anyway, what
Hey,
was I saying?
I'm taller than
I've
two
sta-
people. I'm taller than Miss Gothy too. So there you go.
I've started walking. I've started walking around like when I finish work or whatever, or even when like if I have to go out when it's dark. I've started walking around with my house keys between my fingers, with the key pointing up the way.
Oh yeah.
Because
I catch myself
carry
doing that all
pepper
the time.
spray or anything like that over here. It's illegal for us to carry pepper spray. We can't carry like all these self-defense tools and stuff like that you have over there. We're not allowed them.
Yeah.
So
Or
what
even
I
a
take
lighter. Or even a lighter. You hold a lighter the right way, you screw somebody's face up. You can screw somebody up really bad with a lighter.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I've always got an aerosol and I've always got a lighter. So yeah. But we have, I don't know if you get it over there, but we have this thing called deep heat. It's like you spray it on if you're sore, like if your muscles are aching and it heats up.
Oh yeah.
That
love
works
that.
really, really. That's not illegal to carry, and it works really well on the ice.
Yeah, Ben Gay in the eyes really hurts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard
Yeah.
that from a friend.
Mhm. Get the cold one too, but apparently that can make people go blind. So maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave you with this. Okay. If you watched this and felt uncomfortable, that wasn't fear. That was awareness being born. Comfort is not the goal. Safety is. Comfort is not the goal. Protection is. Silence is not peace. Silence is cover. And today, we didn't cover anything. We looked straight at it. And if you're a parent, ask better questions. If you're an adult, trust your instincts. If you're a survivor, you are not broken. You are not alone.
Meet your kids' friends.
Yes. Meet your kids as friends, very important. And their parents. Do background checks on their teachers. I am a firm believer in that. Okay. Doctors, teachers, everybody. If you're gonna have your kids around them, do a background check on them. And that still doesn't safeguard them all the way, but it definitely helps. If
That's
you're
something else
okay,
we're not allowed to do. We're not allowed to background check. Wonder
that's
why?
messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. If you're a watcher, don't look away. Because real evil doesn't scream, it whispers. And awareness is what drowns it out. Again, this is Awareness Monday. I appreciate you all being here. I really do. Much love, much respect. Remember, survivors, you're not alone. Your story is important. You matter. It matters. Let's keep our children safe from these predators that are out there.
Some don't feel right.
Yeah. If something don't feel right, act.
Right.
Yeah, do something about it.
Do something about it.
I'd rather ask a question and be wrong
Yes.
than not ask.
I would rather make an accusation and be wrong and embarrassed than to not make an accusation and be right and then be totally, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yes, and as always, missykids.org/home. Lots of valuable information there. You can also go to the NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Check out your your National Sex Offender Registry, ladies and gentlemen. You can pinpoint right down to your house. You can find out how many registered sex offenders live next door to you.
You can get notifications when
Yes.
a registered sex offender moves in close.
Yes,
to
and
your house.
very good point. Very good point, babe. And you can actually set it up to where you get notifications when a predator moves in next to you or close to you in your, however far you set your parameters on your own personal stuff. Utilize these tools, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your kids safe. Why? Because it's important. This is Get to Know. Stop. Here, we're standing tough on pedophilia, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
The children are our future. Are they going to grow up well adjusted, or are they going to be like survivors, like we are?
They're going to grow up all damaged.
All damaged and broken.
And if our children are our future and all of our children are damaged, what does that mean for our future?
It's a pretty broken future, yeah. As I've always said, G2K, I've said it from the start, from when I first started talking to you. If I could help save even one child, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
for
know,
real.
I
Somebody
know
out there
personally that I've
listening.
saved a few more than that up to
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
but
Well, we hope. We hope.
Yes.
But if anybody out there listening, like, picks it up and runs with what we're telling you, because it does happen, you know, and it saves one kid, 2 kids.
Yeah.
That's good enough. That's good enough for me, anyway.
yeah,
It's definitely a step in the right direction.
it's
Mhm.
unfortunate that we're not going to be able to save every child, but
Yes.
if we can
Like-
save at least a vast majority of them,
Yes.
But there
The-
are kids that need our help.
Yes, but yes, very good point. Both of you. Very good point. Like I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it a million more before I'm dead and gone. One child is one too many. I knew that when I started this war on pedophilia, I knew that it was a war that wasn't going to be won. Not ever. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it.
yep,
Why? Because human beings are disgusting creatures, and as long as human beings exist, unfortunately, so will pedophilia.
And so will evil.
But
yep,
Evil
but
still gonna happen.
we can make a difference in a lot of innocent children's lives, staying innocent and not being damaged.
yep.
Evil exists, ladies and gentlemen. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? One child is one too many. This is Get to Know. Stop. Standing tough on pedophilia. Much love, everybody.
Thank you,
Yes,
GK.
Pink Peony. Thank you.
Oh, Pink Peony.
Pink Peony says, "Thank you for Awareness Monday. You're a lifesaver and blessings." Thank you very much.
We do what we can. We do what we can, and we hope for the best. But we plan for the worst. But we
Now-
hope for the best. Yeah.
Now, if you want to pitch in, you can definitely share this stream out to your community, to somebody you know. Have them watch it. Don't let this live stream end when it ends here. Keep it going. Share the information out. That's why I do this. That's why we do this. That's why we're doing this, so this information can be out there. Because we all know the internet never dies.
Unfortunately, but yeah.
Yes, very good point, and very last point, right here. Ask your kids questions. Stay involved with your children's lives. Who they're talking to, who they're texting, who they're on Snapchat with. If you allow your kids on
TikTok,
Snapchat,
yeah.
if you allow your kids on Snapchat and TikTok, I have to question your parenting. I really do. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mean that
Instagram,
really,
any
but
of
I
that.
really have to question it because they are definitely known for high rates of predators and nobody doing shit about it.
There's a big lawsuit.
And yes, there are quite a few lawsuits out there against Kick, Roblox, Snapchat, Discord, all of them. Any social media platform that you let your kids on, just know that you are allowing them to become possible victims of being trafficked and being exposed and
Being groomed. Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Last time, ladies and gentlemen, one child is one too many. This is Get to Know. Stop. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Bye.